Okay, it should be fine now. Sorted that out. The output size was wrong. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? What happened? So Ray didn't double. He rolls a 6-2. What's this? Why would you do this? So this is not necessary. Choosing to slot with the 4-2 is not necessary at all. Why don't I like it? Well, where's the checker gone? Okay, it's going to take me a while. So, there are three. My brain is like, what? So Ray does this. He plays one down. I didn't even see there were three checkers. My God. Okay. So you've got good chances of. You've got reasonable chances of actually making the bar anyway if you don't slot it. So everything's going wrong. Okay, so let's say you play the 4 down here. Excuse me, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's say you play the 2 down here and you play the 4 down here. Now this is the alternative. Now you notice with the alternative that you've got almost you've got maximum coverage. The problem is that when Falafel rolls a 6-4, he hits you. So the fact of having maximum coverage militates against the slot. It's an even greater reason not to slot, since that if Falafel manages to roll a 6, he's going to run with a 6, then usually you're going to have a double shot. And yeah, that's going to be a big bonus for you. Conversely, you know, if you didn't have a double shot, then when the guy runs with a 6, you're less likely to hit him. Therefore, it's even more incumbent on you to try and lock down the block immediately there and then. So I'm kind of labouring this, I know, but the other thing is, imagine the checker is there. You're going to obviously, a 3 and a 1, a random 3 and a 1 is going to make the 7 point, but if you roll a 6, then you're going to be breaking the mid. And you don't necessarily want to be doing that, which is a small reason. Again, all backgammon really comes down to totting up these small reasons, these for and against. You know, when we start off, it seems that there are general huge principles, but then we see that if you break it down, there are little atomic things going on, little things that if you change the position, the values, the corresponding values of the plays also changes. All right. Of course, you know, if it works, if Falafel doesn't roll a 6 or a 2-4 or a 1-5, then Ray's going to be very happy. 6-4's going to hit, 5-1's just going to come in and slot the 7, and now Falafel's not going to even think about it. And that's a good roll because it gets the men safe and it makes a landing spot. Okay, so this, again, I've seen this match I think once. I didn't play, I haven't sort of analysed it properly. By the way, I've also got XG if there are some interesting cube actions or positions that I really want to check. But noticing that when I roll a 6-4 as Ray, I don't really know what to do actually. I want to keep the mid. I mean, what would you do? I want to keep the mid, and I want to stay on the 20 point really as an impediment to Falafel. And if I play in my two inner quadrants, then I'm overshooting because the 6 is going to go there, and if I play the 4 to the 3 point, I'm kind of overshooting. Also, I'm going to have a blotting board. This go, if I get a shot, then if I hit, I'm going to have a blotting board unless I hit and cover. So I would probably run at least half the way or some of the way. I don't really know what's right though. And it's just these little kind of indecisions, these moments of indecision, they sow doubt for the rest of the game, maybe. So Ray's just gonna... he looks like he wants to leave the man on the 13 for coverage. I doubt is right, because if you do, you notice that it does dupe the ones, but the ones that are good for Falafel already are 4-1 and 3-1, and not really, and double 1 of course. That leaves 6-1, 5-1 and 2-1 not being that good. If you leave this blot here, then 6-1 becomes better for Falafel. 2-1, maybe you would still pick and pass, okay. And then 5-1 would definitely be better, because 5-1 without having the 1 to play there is quite difficult to play for Falafel. So I don't think I would leave a shot on the mid.
So unaware, are we playing legal moves here? Since it's being streamed?
No, it's not a legal moves tournament.
Are they playing legal moves? I remember this. With fast forward, we don't
Illegal
need
moves, right?
Right. The Commonwealth in the finals won. So I just read.
So it was the 2-1. So I guess you just pick and pass, because the alternative is to hit on the 12 point, and then the 2, it would have to be 8-6, and it doesn't make sense on 2 grounds. One, you're allowing Ray to make the 5 point, possibly, and you spoil your structure even more. Obviously you don't want to take a checker from a point that's got 3 men on to a point that's got 4 men on. You want to leave, all things being equal, you want to leave that structure as it is. Oh. There's my cursor. Okay, so Falafel's really thinking about this. It's really interesting, but I don't know why. I'm just going to forward. Okay, so if he does that, surely he's going to play 8-6. Because otherwise, you leave a shot. There's this... Yeah, so he's taking it back. This just leaves no shot and doesn't harm your position that much. I mean, more interesting is that Falafel's taking time over this. I wouldn't have thought that he would. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm surprised. I suppose maybe what I'm not seeing is that if you hit, then you improve your race. I mean, that's the basic proposition of backgammon, that you want to get in front as much as you can. And now you're foregoing the possibility to do that. So he can't. Ray again can't get that man safe. So he really wants to dupe the 1 again. Coming up by coming up to the 20 point. Interesting. Although you do want to stay back because you want to be to generate shots. That's how you win. 6-2 is a really bad roll. Six-two is. So what I'm thinking, of course, is that you can, and you probably should just hit loose. So I guess I would do, but what else can you do? You can break the 9 point, leaving 1 shot, leaving 1 block, but it leaves a really awful position. Shall we look at it a little bit longer?
11, 13, 14, 15, 16.
I have watched this, and I think I remember that maybe Ray cubes. I don't think this is going to be anywhere near enough. So he's just counting the shots. He's seeing that all 5s hit plus 4, 1 and 3, 2, which is 15, plus nothing else. 2, 1, 17, I believe. Generally, if you haven't got more than half the number of shots in the bag in the dice cup, then you shouldn't be doubling. And then of course you can look a bit further and see how the position is for Falafel after you roll not such a good number. Is Falafel, I didn't count the 4 3, so there must have been all the 3s as well. Wow, okay, so that's immediately got to be in and out, and still it's not going to be a double. Ah, okay. You can hit as well. My initial play was yeah, I don't think this is I think that's wrong. I'm gonna put this in to XG. Oh, can I get my mouse to work? So 6 to play. We got a 6 to play here. Can I get things working? Oh, it's really frustrating. Inside I am will I be able to put this in? I'm gonna give it a shot. Set up position. This could take a shitload of time. Okay, so this is going to take a long time. Come on, please. It's just okay. So we got a man on the bar. Oops. I really want to do this, but this is not. But this is just not tenable. Okay. Okay. I give up. All right. So, I just looking at this play. Even if you do, let's say, get a fan, which is really unlikely, you still need to roll a 6 to come out. Plus, you're going to need a 6 to cover, so your 6s are going to be duplicated. If you come out, then you're giving 4s and 1s plus 6, 5, double 6, and then double 3 as well. So you're giving like 26 shots. You're giving a lot, but if you get missed, then you're doing okay. Also, what's going to happen if you get hit by one checker? If you get one checker hit, let's say you've got a checker, this checker's here, and then you get hit here, then how are you feeling about that? Well, I suppose you're not too happy about it, because then you don't really have any returns. Okay. I mean, that's just, yeah, just my instincts to come out. So I don't know.
Hi, Johnny.
Okay, so then, yeah, Ray cubes, and I wouldn't cube. I just wouldn't cube. Why would I not cube? What's going on? Let's just give us. So we got 2s hitting, 5s and 4s are coming in. 2s are pretty strong, but then Falafel can still anchor on the 22. Then 5s and 4s, I don't know, maybe it's going to be a 50-50 proposition. Difficult for Falafel to get his last man out, difficult for him to get round. But then you've got the 9 fans. So if Ray fans, it's looking like a pretty strong redouble. I'm not even sure. I mean, I was going to say looks like a pass. I mean, I can't be sure about anything I'm saying at the moment, but it looks very strong, which suggests that when you have nine numbers that are going to be a pass, let's assume they are, then it's very, very dangerous to cube in that position.
Hi, Johnny.
Very dangerous. Okay, so there's the 5 and the 3 hits. Okay, so the 5 and 3 is different. The 5 with the 3 is a separate roll on its own because it hits, immediately covers, and now Ray is in. Even when he comes in with a 5 or a 4, Falafel is obviously a favourite. I think he has to come down. I mean, coming out is obviously possible for outfield coverage. Okay, so now in this situation, Falafel on roll. So he's got 5s, 4s and 2s to sort of point or pick and pass on the 4 point. Then he's got 6s to come out. So strong, not quite a redouble, I would say. My God, I don't know what I am talking about at all. But yeah, I think it's not quite a redouble. So there are numbers that neither come out nor do anything on Falafel's side of the board. And then you're going to be really, really sorry that you've given up cube ownership. So I don't think that's obviously not a play on, but that now a fan is a complete wipeout. So the question is this too good? My initial instinct is no, but there are some gammons here, because Ray's got 5 checkers out here that he will need to come in, bring in. He's got 3 checkers obviously on the 20 plus another one. He's got 4 there. He hasn't come in yet. But then you've got to think about the possibility of Falafel not rolling a 6 and Ray coming in with a 5, which is roughly, what is it, 25 over 36 times 11 over 36, which is about, happens about, I don't know, 18% of the time. And when that happens, obviously Ray has got a really decent chance of winning the game. So it looks to be like a redouble and a pass. I can't remember what happened in the game. In other words, the position is so volatile, it can go very, very well for black, or it can kind of go badly. Okay, so he's shaking, so he presumably thinks it's too good. Leaving no shots, because then you will lose your ability to even cube later if you get hit with a 5-3. Okay. Let's scoot up a little bit more. Ray fanned. Nothing really going on here. So Falafel, I mean, we can, I tell you what we can do. The match will be on Backgammon Studio, I forgot about that. Probably. Double 5 is leaving, what, 4 shots? 5-2, 6-2, 6-1. So we said that Ray's cube was going to be dangerous, and we said that it was going to be a redouble pass, but in fact it was, according to Falafel, thought it was a play on. And this is why I think Ray's cube was definitely early. Maybe I could get this. Excuse me. Maybe I can get this on... While Falafel is bearing off, I'm going to try and get this on Backgammon Studio, see if it will come up. Okay. Alright, here I go through Backgammon Studio. It's going to be there. We're going to pull it up on the screen. We're going to see where we were wrong. This isn't going too well, is it? Okay, window capture. Window capture. Aha. Aha. Oh, come on. Don't do this. What are you doing? Falafel. Falafel. I just don't have the fucking patience for this. I fucking tell you that. Ray Fogerlund, where is he? Well, I know I could have just written the name in the box as well. Come on. P. Oh, wait, stop, chill. Oh, man. When you have OBS open, you simply can't control. Okay, no, we don't want that. Where? I just had him. Is this gonna be it? And can we get this? Scale to window? Alright. Here we go. This is just not... Play. How about play? Okay, this is not... No. 5-1, double 5. It's just not... No. Now it seems to be working. No. Jeez. Okay. Good 3-2 by Ray. 5-3. So this is the 4-2, which I thought was, wow, very interesting. So Ray's play was right. Mine was number 4. So with a 6-4, 2 down is fine. Ray's play is only a small error according to this analysis. I don't know what level of analysis it is. The 2-1 is very close. I suppose because, like I said, you want to gain in the race if you can. And then the 4-1 is very close. I believe this is like 2-ply analysis. The 6-2 is forced. Not cubing is correct. And then not coming out is a disaster. Not surprised since Falafel. And then cubing is fine. It's a low equity cube, meaning that after cubing your equity is only like half a point, but you still gain a lot when you gain a little bit when you double, even though your equity after it isn't that great. Okay, so what's this? 5-3, and then 3-1 was covering, coming in, and then this massive 4-2, and then obviously it's got to be too good. Yeah, so the only mistake was in fact this 5-6 where Ray's got to come out. Yeah, he's got to get out of the 4-point. Okay, alright, I'm getting there. Okay. And that was pretty much it. He brought it home. And he takes a 4-0 lead. Okay, alright, let's see if we can... Google Chrome, why is it done? Okay, fine. So, very, very well played first game by both. 5-4 counter split. Double 6 is just the bar, I think, and going round to the 8-point to get the man out of danger. Double 2's a great roll. Five 3 is okay, but you'd rather come out. Obviously, you're ahead in the race. You want to come out. Double 4 is clear to make the 5. I believe you could come out to the 16. 1-5, you just come out, seeing as that's what you want to do. I assume Ray's going to do that. Yeah, you just it's your objective to come out. Okay, now it's going to be too good. This I do know. Even 3-6, you probably come out. Maybe it's not. Such an easy game, no thinking required. You're going to leave the shot now. You're leaving, what, 5 shots? Yeah, and then you come out and surely you've got to play on even at 4-0 here. So you come out because it's untenable. You just haven't got the defence in your board to stick around and try and win the game. And so the question is, are there enough numbers for Falafel that make it bad for him to carry on and roll? So he thinks so. You know, and let me just scoot back. So it's anything that doesn't equal, isn't enough to equal a 5. So double 1, double 2, 2-1, 3-1. Double 1, 2-1, I'm counting on my fingers, 3-1, that's 5. Double 2, 6. My brain isn't working today, so I guess it's 6 numbers. But even then, you don't get hit. Let's have a look at what the Shabudi thinks. Where are you? Okay, the Shabudi. Here we are. So no mistakes. Obviously, the double 6 is clear. The 5-3 is clear. The 5-1 is clear. Actually, the 5-1 is close according to this. Ah, whatever. Yeah, it's a big double. Okay, so I know fuck all. Fair enough. Would I have cubed or not? I don't know. Maybe I would have done. Alright, so back to the match. Nice, 5-0 to Fluff. The 2 down because, you know, you're behind in the match. I suppose I hate playing 2 down, but 4-1 just counter slot. Or slot, not counter slot. 6-5 make the 5. But making the coming out would be also reasonable. Actually, since Falafel's got a blocking board, coming out is good. So the reason why, what I mean is, Falafel's got a blocking board. Ray has got this 6-5 to play. Now, if Falafel had made the 5 point and Ray comes out, and then Falafel hits, then Ray doesn't have the 5 point to be shooting at, the blot and the 5 point. And so then it becomes a kind of a direct comparison of what improves your position more. And it's hard to say, but I think coming out is best. Because you always want to come out and making the 5 point is strong, but it kind of leaves your checkers at the back a little bit stranded. And this is the point that my brain's trying to get to, that you can come out and then you're less likely to be hit. You're more likely not to be hit than to be hit. And then when you're not hit, you can then make the 5 point the next go. Or you can make an improvement the next go. If you do it the other way and you actually make the 5 point, then in order to get to full safety for one of the checkers, you're gonna have to roll an exact 6-5. If you come out now, then you've got, and you don't get hit, you've got multiple numbers which are going to improve your position. 5-1, 5-3, 6-2, assuming you don't get hit. So I like that play. Six-four. I don't think you hit. I think you make the. I think you make the 5 point and come to the 18. Okay, so let me pause it there. So if you make the 5 point, obviously you've locked it up, and then you give your opponent a lot of numbers to equalize the position. But if you hit, then it's a question of how many shots are you giving just to give yourself a chance of not only making the improved 5 point, but also coming out and hitting. And it comes down to whether you leave too many shots on the hitting play to make it viable. And when I looked at it, I thought you did. And so if you come out and you make the 5, then let's say the best improvement that Ray can make to his position is that he will hit and make the bar, which is not, it's a pretty decent improvement because it points on you, but it's not, you've still made the 5 point. You've still locked it up. So when you get hit back, then on those variations, then you would have preferred to have made the 5 point. I'm assuming that's the case. 5-6 will just come out and make the 14. Better to make the point and then try and avoid getting hit with a 6 and a 4. Okay, this I'm more certain. If I could be certain about anything, this, if I had to bet on any play, which I don't want to do against Falafel, this is the one I would bet on. I would say making the 16 is better, but actually turned out a lot better for Falafel. So it looks natural just to come in and play to the 4 point and dupe the 3s. I would probably make the bar here. I'm not really sure. So the only alternative that okay, but if you make the 14, I would assume that you're not gonna hit. And therefore, what are you allowing your opponent if you don't hit? If you don't hit, you're allowing your opponent to anchor up with a 1 and to make the 4 point with a 4 or a 2. Two is nice. 4 could hit is a possibility. Because then you take away some of Falafel's rolls are going to be kind of pointing or picking and passing. I think I would have hit there. 4-2 is unquestionably going to make the point. You don't care about leaving shots. And then I'm not sure whether you hit on the 2 point. Probably yes. Seeing as that if you hit on the 2 point, yeah, I'm not sure about that. So if you hit on the 2 point here, and Ray comes in with a 5, and Falafel comes in with a 5-3 or a 1, just with one checker. So he rolls like a 5-6 or a 3-6 or a 1-6. Then, especially at this score, it looks like Ray's going to be able to cube. I'm not sure how strong a cube it is. So, in this variation, Falafel would have just had a man on the 22 point and Ray would have had a blot on the 2. He would have been able to pick and pass. Four's going to come out. So even this is pretty close to a double. Ray's looks like he's up in the race. He's got threats. And the score militates in favour. This is what I would do. I would count the pips, but you can just see visually that there are 6 checkers here, 2 checkers here, so that's going to be around a difference of 52. So the cube is always going to be reasonable. The take is easy. And then you just hit twice. Now you've cubed. Just because you need to take advantage of the gammon wins, especially when you're behind in the match, so it's a pretty easy play. You go for it. And this is why you do, because of rolls like that, and you can, then you carry on blitzing. And always in these positions, coming in with 1 is just not good enough. Coming in with 1 and not hitting usually means that the blitz succeeds. Now when your opponent fails to hit the checker that's come in, then the blitz has every possibility of failing again. But Falafel will still need to, definitely reasonable to I wouldn't hit, but I would certainly look at it. So these are the easiest positions in backgammon. And I don't know how to play this either. If I was to come out, I don't think I would... it could be okay. I mean, I think Ray's idea is to try and not get hit with a 3-5 or a 1-5. And so therefore he doesn't want to give extra shots. If Falafel comes in, of course, then there's no real reason why you would want a man on the 14 point. But my play would probably have been, for what it's worth, which is not very much, because I'm not seeing things very clearly at the moment, for some reason. Yeah, my first play was just go for it. But then I note that it doesn't really make sense, because if Falafel doesn't come in with the 3, you don't really need you've still got a reasonable prospect of hitting him again on the 3 point if you don't play wild. And if he does come in with a 3, you certainly don't want a position where you've got lots of checkers lying about which you want desperately to clean up. So I like Ray's play. I don't know what's right. It seems reasonable. 6-5 seems like such a natural thing to do, but maybe you don't always do what's natural. Maybe you sometimes do what makes sense, what's logical. So now, as I'm saying, Ray's got plenty of numbers which are going to hit on the 3 point. It just so happens that even if he'd have played down, well, if he'd have played down on 6-5, the 2 would be hitting.
I'll hit it next time.
But now he's. Is there a reason why we're going to leave these blots now? Well, possibly. This I find. I mean, I understand the general idea, but I can never work it out. So in this configuration, you've kind of got this situation where when the forward block gets hit, this one, then you've got more returns because you've got an extra man to hit him with. But then the downside of that is when you don't hit back or the backward block gets hit, then the the fact of leaving an extra shot doesn't help you whatsoever. But I think Ray did this because he didn't see the value of coming out to the 14 with the 6. He sees it equally as reasonable to go there, which is why I'm not so sure that his play of playing 20 to 13 with the previous 6-1 was that clear-sighted. Okay, so he takes it back. I thought he picked them up. You know, now you get hit with a 3-5, the 1-5. And now you breathe a massive sigh of relief because you feel like you're entitled to this closeout. And even here you could just come out, it's not going to be much of a difference. Not really. Compared to other decisions, I mean, they're not trivial, but relatively they're trivial. So let's just fast forward just because we can. And he rolled what, the double 1? It's not even that bad. So what is this? He's counting whether like 5-3 will, or 5-3 will just, doesn't make any difference. Well, we're not going to stick around for this play. We're going to assume he has to break the point with 5-3 anyway. Again, no big deal to play this. In fact, clearing the 6, although you kind of lose a few gammons. You know, he can even roll another 3-2 and still be okay. Yeah. And then this is now the danger. There was no danger there. Now the danger is having that extra block on the 4 point. Of course, it's horrid. But it looks like he's scooted his way. So he wins the gammon. So this is always the interesting bit. Where are you? Where are you when I need you? There you are. I don't know where I got this hideous colour screen from. Okay, so there was some errors here. So they pretty much played the first 2 games error-free. 3-2, 4-1, you have to slot, I believe. But again, I don't know what this analysis level is, but apparently you can just split, maybe because of the score. 6-5. You should make the point. Okay. Fair enough. And I got one right. I find these really tricky. So I didn't say it because I didn't think it mattered either way. But these checker plays where you can either hit in the outfield and then leave a ton of shots because you've got a blot in board when you hit, or you can actually make the point in board and then not hit and then allow your opponent to do stuff. I didn't work this out. My instinct was to play what the computer would have done. I mean, maybe I just got it randomly by chance, but again, you know, when you're playing someone and they make a play, and because you think they're so good, unless you're really sure of yourself, you assume they've made the right play. So you don't want to be arrogant and think you're better than Falafel, but you want to have confidence to believe that you can make the right play. So it's a difficult one to weigh up. You just need to know thyself. Okay, so 3-4 is forced, and then the 5-6. Falafel's actually right. I would have made the second best play. I don't know why it's right to hit on the 3-point. Maybe you guys do, whoever's watching. Leaving all those blots. I ain't got anything to say. So what? So he hit, then the 4-6. Interestingly, again, it's close. You should come out. I don't know who would do that. So he made my play going 10-4, and then 6-1. Yeah, I like this play after. I didn't say, but believe me, yeah, you got to. There's no. You can't afford to make the bar and leave all those shots. You got to tighten up. So in fact, Falafel tightened up on this play, whereas I kind of wanted to tighten up with the 5-6 and make the 14. And then even if you hit whilst making the 14, the computer thinks it's okay on this analysis level. And then I wanted to make the 4-point with the 2 and then hit with the 4, which is this play here. But in fact, the computer wants to do this and actually make the point, which I didn't even fucking see. Oh. Okay. Interesting. But where are we? So I can't even see which play we're on. So yeah, Ray just sort of, you can't do this with the 4-2 because then you leave white too many numbers that are kind of diversified. 4-2 is obviously a good roll. 3-4 I would have hit. I would have been wrong. 3-4 is just forced. And then the double was clear. The take is really easy. You got to hit twice. And then there were some tricky plays after this, which we can take a look at. So this is the one where you can actually make or you can hit. So hitting would be really bad. Just making the 5-point is right. That's what I felt, but I cannot be. Yeah, I mean, if you actually hit loose on the 3-point here, you're leaving so many blots. So I guess I can get behind my play a bit more. And then the 6-1 was interesting. And actually, yeah, coming out is right, since like you have enough numbers, as I said, to hit on the 3-point. So why put yourself in jeopardy when the guy comes in and rolls a 3? So that makes perfect sense. So if you know that, if you understand your plays, then you're happy with them. You're like, oh yeah, okay, I made the play that made sense. And then the same theme with the 6-4, you just come out to the 14-point, saying that if he doesn't come in, then you've got enough shit to pound him with. If he does come in, you're going to be safer. And then when you do this, you feel that you've made the right play, irrespective of the logic of the previous decision, since it went out for you. And that's the kind of deception of backgammon. And then it kind of did this. Okay, I'm going to go be 2 seconds. I don't know how many people are watching. I doubt very many, like 2, but stick around. 1, 0. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Let's carry on. Ray got 4 back. So what is it? 5-1. Backgammon is such a difficult game. One moment from hard, easy to so easy decisions are easy, and then everything else is like a different league. I love Falafel's dice throwing style. Very just solid and calm. So 6-1, I would just play 18 and 5, and then I would be like, oh, I can hit twice, and I'm not sure. I would do this. Then okay, so like what's you can even, so here you can even make the bar kind of duping the 6. Six is to hit here. 6 and 1, 6 and 3 to make the 5 points are duplicated, and 6 and 4 to make the bar. And then of course, like, this has got to be reasonable to hit twice. Excuse me. So if you had a third checker on the mid, then hitting twice would be right by a big margin, I guess. But I would make Falafel's play. I don't know why though. I just don't know why. Because now you give some good 4s and come up with a 3 probably. You want to obtain an advanced anchor. You don't want to. Now you've only got 4 checkers on the mid, and that's just it's always an easy thing to spot. If your number of checkers on the mid is dwindling, then you kind of want to be wary about taking a checker off there. And then it's another one to be hit. It doesn't really do you much good. So that's going to hit and just make the 3 point, I think. Or coming round and coming to the 8 is okay as well. But I would make the 3. You see, now after the 6-4 play, I'm getting more confident. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So of course, 3-2 wouldn't be such a good roll. 3-2 is now like an important roll. And this is interesting. I wasn't expecting a cube here, so let's try and get raised. I don't think this is a cube. 6 is a duplicated. So let's say you roll your best number. I don't know, let's say you roll a 6-5, which is indisputably a good number. Then if Ray comes in, which he's likely to do, how much have you lost your market by? Have you lost your market? What if he comes in on the 23 with a 2? Obviously he's not got like some formidable back game, but is that going to be a market loser? And then that's taking one of Falafel's maybe the best number. I don't know. And then so if Falafel rolls something like average, maybe like a 2-1, he makes the 4 point, and then Ray rolls, I was thinking of 5-2. He can just come out. Is that going to be a big pass? Is that going to be a pass at all? Also, Falafel's leading, so there's no real urgency for him to cube. And all that said, whether or not he thinks that, I don't know, that Ray's not going to play this properly or something like that. I mean, I don't know why that would be a thing. I don't think he could possibly think that Ray's not going to take. So those are my... I don't understand this cube. So he does roll like that 6-5, and now let's see how it develops in this one game. So the 4-5, is this a pass? I don't think so. I mean, you've got all your checkers in play as teal or whatever that colour is. 6-4 is going to make the 4 point every day of the week. It's a really lovely roll, but you know, it's like when you've got the 22 anchor, you're not really in much danger of getting gammon. Plus, you've got another goalkeeper there on the 23 point. Of course, you want to get this checker now that's on the 16 point. You want to get him out of there. Should we try yellow? You can't leave that guy there. Even if you've got this harebrained idea of wanting to... I would just slot the 5 point of trying to get a back game. Trying to get a second anchor. Yeah, you could hit, couldn't you? I mean, he just... Okay, I mean... You could think about hitting. Now I would run. Instinctively, I would just take that man off the 23. Because you haven't got enough checkers to play with now. If you don't do so... Okay, he doesn't agree. But if you do that, then that doesn't make sense to have 2 blocks in board. So I would just give up. I can't think very quickly, but whatever number that this block on the 23 point is catering for, whichever of Falafel's numbers which are going to be able to play behind, perhaps 6-5. Well, 6-5 is going to play anyway. So, what? Okay, so he just made 3 points. I was just checking it's legal. So interesting, I would have just come out. This seems pretty normal, just make the 10 point. No shots. And now I think Ray is suffering, really, with this man on the 23 rather than... I think it's probably right to come out now as well. There are still some numbers that point on this man and get you in further trouble. 6-5 was always going to play, seeing that he had the 10 points, so it wasn't generating any shots. And it's still in danger. Of course, there are some shots now, but... Wow. This is really unusual. I've rarely seen this. Really rarely seen this. So it looks like you just leave ones and long range shots like this. And then you also tube the 1. That hits. That hits. No, it doesn't. Excuse me. I genuinely thought it did. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Ray's got a tendency to kind of play bold and leave checkers there to try and hold that checker there so that and so the normal play here looks like just coming out with the checker that he's just put in. And then, you know, if I was playing myself, I would check, just double check that I can't do something more contacty, you know, like coming out to the 16, but you can't do that because he's got a 4 point board. And if you, so let's say you got 3 to play, I mean, you can't come out with both because that relinquishes so much contact. I think that was only 4, but so now he has to play 8 to 1. It's interesting how these.
For drill, isn't it? 10.
Now it looks mandatory to come out. You can't really play the 5 from your 6 point. And again, you know, going for contact, but it's just too big to leave 4s to hit and then 5s and 2s, I think. Okay. So even when Falafel gets this safe, all his 5s are going to be a bit dodgy, since they're going to have to be played from the 8 point onto the 3 point. And unless he rolls a 2 with them, or a 5, then he's going to have to leave shots. I guess he's just taking stock of the position, and I'm not sure what he's thinking. He can play, sorry, of course, he can play 13-12, and then play 8 to 4. Was that legal? Yep. 11-2. Yeah, so now I need 5. Ray's still got reasonable chances of getting a shot here. Okay, so that's a great number. Can be played. I mean, usually I would just switch here. That's my. I'm just sort of giving you my instinct. So if you switch, you immediately make it more likely that Ray's going to come in on a higher point in board and then lessen the contact. But the fact that Ray is going to have to go with a 6 soon enough. I mean, yeah, this is what I would do. So this looks good in all eventualities. In the fanning eventuality, also if he rolls a 4 or a 6, Falafel's going to have reasonable chances of bringing the game home and not leaving further shots. Just taking his time. He can leave 4 shots, 6-1, 6-2. Yeah, okay. Nothing better. So it's like 3 in a bit shots because of the block. You can sort of downgrade it from 4 to, and it wins a few more gammons. Falafel doesn't like it, but he's going to have to lump it. The shot is basically a win, you know. Wow. Okay, that's it. So let's have a look again at the. Yeah, he won't be happy with that. Okay, so let's go back to. Three, 1, 2, 1, 6, 1. It's clear to just play 18 and 5. I don't really know why. That would have been my play. It's just natural. So 4-3, yeah, you come up with the 3 because it has more value to you than coming down with the 3. And then making the 3 point is a big blunder. I don't know why. I mean, I can believe it's wrong, but I don't know why it's so bad. Okay, and then the cube is perfectly adequate. It's small. Okay, it's small. 6-5 is Force 5 was kind of forced, and then 6-4 was a great roll making the 4 point, and then you got to get out of there. 2-1. Hitting would have been bad. Why am I wanting to hit there? We won't go into it. Yeah, so the double 5, you've got to come off the 23. That just seems natural to me. You're not gaining that much, as I said, and you're going to lose quite a lot when you get pointed on. And this structure here, by the way, having the 3 and the 1 is kind of a horrible structure, because now you're forcing yourself to make the points out of order. All these gaps in your board. 5-1. Yeah, even there he can come up to the 22. Coming up to the 18 is this play. It's .024 behind, for what it's worth. Again, and then the 6-5 played fine there. Double 5 seemed forced. You have to leave, you know, basically a single shot rather than a double. That was forced. That was pretty much forced. Switching was right, of course. That was right. And then just you know, what did he have that was what did he have that was leaving a shot here? Well, double 4 wasn't, so double 6, double 5, and then he has to hit, and then he has to and then he has to fail to roll a 2. Double 3, you make the 5 point here. Come up and make the 5. Nope. Okay, I can say something more about that when we go through the analysis. 5-3, okay. But yeah, I mean, making the 10 point is obviously great as well, but it's just that making the 5 is better. And now using the 10 point to make the 5 point is fantastic. Makes the bar. Ray is favourite, but he's behind a 4 prime. And here, maybe down to the 9 and play 10 to 5, like this. So you do leave 6-2, 5-3, but that's it. This looks pretty standard, not leaving shots. So Ray's game has improved a little bit since Falafel had to burn a checker. And either 2 down, I'm not sure which one, or make the 2 point. Again, we know that if making the down play is right, it's likely that Ray was going to do it because he made that play in the first game. You can't keep the 9. Oh, of course you played make 3. Okay, that's standard. Okay, still not a cube. Yeah, not enough here. You're behind. You're like a broken 5 prime. You haven't really got anything. So your best improvement, apart from something like double 3 or double 6, your best improvement, let's say you roll a 2-1, isn't that fantastic for you. So no reason to cube. something like this, it's an improvement, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. You've still got the gap on the 4 point. At 6-5, you know, you really want to run here. But this is more volatile. I mean, doesn't mean that running's wrong, but now he's got 11 ones plus double 3 and 3-6 is 14 numbers. Plus 5-4 is going to hit on the ace point. And then you look at if Ray doesn't roll a good number, then what's his position looking like after that? So if he rolls like a 4-3, so you can make the 4 point, but of course he's probably gonna hit. If you hit, I think you make the 8. You don't want to leave shots. There's no reason to leave shots. And the question is, if Falafel doesn't come in, is he going to be able to take? And it looks like he can, but I don't. Yeah, I think this is overkill. This could be right. I don't know. I couldn't say. So definitely I would rule out making the 4 point. I would hit. If I'm going to hit, I'm either going to make the 8 point. I mean, I don't think that can be right. Now, a 1 would have been... might have still been a cube for Ray. But now this definitely can't be a cube. Yeah, I mean, pretty sure this can't be a cube. So it looks like the 4-1 was... he was unsure about it. Not saying it was definitely wrong, but he was unsure and then kind of conned himself into cubing. I have no idea how to play this, so instinct is just to come in, give up on trying to hit the block on the 23. You don't want to prime yourself, basically, and you've got enough winning chances with this man on the bar to give yourself a possible cube. So is that a fan? This has got to be... whoa, this has got... oh, he's cubed already. So this would be a cube. The fact that you've already cubed is not happy, and now you probably do have to hit on the ace point, otherwise you're running out of checkers to do stuff with. And if you hit on the ace point, then you have to play 11 to 7. Okay, well, that's definitely going to hit 1, and probably just going to make the 2 point. And then it's going to be too good in a lot of variations. Yeah. 3s and 5s and 9s. So that hits 1 checker. Yeah, I mean, this seems reasonable. Only double, see, you're giving double 1. You're giving double 1. Still, it's definitely nowhere near a redouble because you win so many gammons. You've got to hit on the ace point. And now, is this a redouble? So what can happen? Falafel can stay out. And Ray needs to come in. Yeah, it looked to be too good, although I can't say why. Homing in on a 4 point. Oops. So if Ray rolls a 1, is it still going to be too good? Wait. So what's going on? My cursor's hanging. Is it now?
Alright. Exit.
Okay, so after he rolls the 1-4, is it not good enough anymore? Okay, let's just... So what's going on? Is it not good enough? It looks like it's not good enough. It's hard to go from a too good to a not good enough. As in, it's sometimes hard to see it. Oh, no, I don't know if it is not too good. It's probably, I think he's playing on. He's got, so Ray's got 7 checkers back. Falafel, even if Falafel fans, Ray still needs 6s and 5s. So I think he's playing on. He's a lot clearer than he just knows.
Alright.
Yeah.
Exit.
And here maybe you actually hit, seeing that there's an upside to hitting. Doing that, there's no upside if you hit. Then you can make the ace point. Here you're just kind of leaving the block for nothing, for no gain. So it looks like it was too good. I mean, from this variation, you definitely don't want to come off the ace point. Okay. So there's not all that much happening here, so I'm just going to press the right cursor button, the right arrow button, and just fast forward. Like, how many checkers has he got back? 9? Like a 1 point board. How many checkers? 9 on the 4 point. Yeah, so you can get hit and then pick up another checker if you want. I don't know, but I'm gonna fast forward because these are exotic plays. So what? He's come out with a 4, so he's got a 1 to play. Does he hit? I don't care. He's just gonna get gammoned. Or backgammoned. And what we're going to do is we're going to fast forward and then we're going to look at the evaluation for the the slightly more conventional decisions at the beginning of the game. Okay, so Falafel's got hit again. Okay. Are we going to stick around for this one? Do you want to leave a ton of shots, or do you want to... maybe I wouldn't break the mid, leaving too many shots. Do you come out? I don't think so. But I don't know, actually. You don't really want to play a man to the 3-point. Okay, I would play to the 3-point. That's my play. Let's have a look later. And he keeps being hit. You play over him? Or you make the 8? I don't really know. You can make the 14. You can make the 17. I think you probably make the 8.
We're doing another $50 jackpot. 4-player.
How many shots does it leave, though?
90% return.
Quite a lot. I think this is too esoteric to even bother. Until we actually work out how to play the fundamentals, which I haven't worked out yet. Who rolled double 4, then we're not going to bother with this stuff. I mean, there's no way that Falafel doesn't come around. It's obvious. You see? There's the hit. Here's the fan. Here's the Hoover. Fan. The cock. He hits again. Of course you hit the second man. Oh my god. Now it looks like you're just going to make the 9-point. Interesting. Okay, again, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna... We don't care about this stuff. We don't give a shit.
2 more for $50 now.
What's he got now? How can he still be hitting him? It's crazy. If you saw how the game... Okay. This is getting missed. Fuck, do you hit though? Hold on. Well, look, surely this isn't that easy. I mean, if you don't hit, then most likely you're going to just get gammoned a lot of the time anyway. I mean, I can see you don't want to hit, but... So what, you're hoping that you rolls like a double 3 or a double 1? Yeah, okay. And there we go. But he saves the gammon. I mean, like, he had 9 checkers on the 21 point. It's ridiculous. Yeah, he's going to save it. He's going to save it. Easy save. 4, 6, and then if he rolls like anything with a 3 or 2, he can't bear a man off. Okay, so he does get it in the end. Alright, let's have a look. Let's see what was going on in this game. I can't even remember how it started. I think that oh yeah, we had these interesting... Yeah, okay. Double 3, so making the 5 point is better because he's got a button board, so you're not so bothered about being hit on the 8 point when you do this, which I think we know. Obviously the 10 point is fantastic anyway, so 5-3, Falafel manages to cover Ray makes the 5 point. So he has a considerable advantage, even though Falafel has made the 7 point. Then, yep, with the 5-4, you don't want to play this because you don't give yourself a reasonable chance of actually improving and winning the game. This is like a key moment where you need to put your checkers in positions where you can get to a position then that you can cube from. And if you do this, then you're much less likely to get to a position that you can cube from. You're forcing yourself to roll exact numbers like 1, 2, 6, 5, and then other numbers are going to leave a shot. So I like that play. And then 5-4 is like a force play. There's nothing really Falafel can do other than put a man behind the anchor on the 2 point. And then the 6-4 I wasn't sure between coming down and making the 2 point. I would have made the 2 point, I think, but I would have thought about it. If you make the 2 point, you still got reasonable chances of winning. If you come down like this, I suppose you don't have that many covers anyway, and you dupe your own 2s and 1s, which you're going to be wanting to use to make the 4 point. So, okay. 4-4 is forced, really. 6-5. I didn't like Ray's cube. Let's see what... My instinct was that Falafel had to run. And then... So yeah, this is when I thought that Ray should at least think about cubing. You don't have to be winning the game to have a cube. All you need to have is like some sort of like clear path to... Well, often a clear path to a sort of a blitz victory. And here, there is such a thing. So, it's just a matter of adding up the number of dice rolls you have to see if you have enough of those dice rolls to make that path to blitz victory possible. And when you actually go through them and see that all of your 1s, which is 11 dice rolls, and then 3, 6 and 3 are going to hit, and then 5-4 is going to hit on the 1 point, you can see that before long you can put yourself in a position where you have 2 of your opponent's men on the bar, and you're about to close them out. And therefore, since you're on the cusp of doing it now, you must double in order to maximize the value when that such eventuality happens. Of course, the arguments against doubling are that it doesn't happen often enough to make it viable. The question is, how do you know? Well, it's often a kind of instinctive thing that you pick up after you've played for a long time. And then the easy bit of the decision is that it's a take. I mean, you can see that although Blue has a viable way of winning and blitzing, the majority of his numbers aren't going to do that. So that means that White has a very clear route of winning the game when Blue fails to exercise this blitz. So I would have doubled there. And then the 4-1 was right. For some reason I thought Ray did double there. Or did I think that? I'm not sure. Yeah, and then he doubled here. And now, I suppose it doesn't matter, like the computer says no double, but it's very, very close. But the thing to note is here that it's such an easy decision for Falafel, and that's one of the key proponents of not doubling when it's marginal, because it just takes a lot of worry out of your opponent's decision, and you want to concern him. You want to make him unsure and uncertain. So I wasn't right really that this was a no double, although I suppose that's not the issue. And then he comes in on on the 4. I wasn't sure about that. Better to come in on the ace point. What's going on? Yeah, better to come in on the ace point like this. Give yourself a chance of rolling a 1 and still not be that prime, not be that blocked in. And then the fan, and then the 5-4 you had to hit. Double 4, massive joker, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. And then Falafel was playing on too good. There was a moment where Ray rolled the 4-1 pretty much round about here, and for a moment I was like, is this no longer good enough? But clearly it's, or can we no evaluation. Why is it not showing an evaluation? Well, all we need to know is that, see this figure here, minus 1.068. This means that after the 4-1 play, which is forced, Falafel's winning more than a point, so it's a play on. And it took me a while to see that, whereas Falafel knew that much more quickly than I did. And then there were these crazy plays which we didn't look at, and then that was it. I'm going to take one more game. So 9-6, Falafel's leading 6-3. You would just expect he's going to split play 24-18 and 13 to just cover the board nicely. Again splitting, and then making the 10 point I think, and not hitting, even though Ray has got some good numbers. Okay, yeah, the problem with making the 10 point is that you leave Ray some good numbers on both sides of the board, like a 4 to make the 5 point, his 20 point, and then numbers to make the 20 point, to make his own 5 point. And I can't see what was the number. A6, okay. So Ray's now favourite. 4 I think will come up actually to the 20 point. Yeah, so Falafel's now favourite after that roll. 4-2 you can probably double hit. I don't think there's anything else. Played very fast. And then not enough for a cube. Definitely not the score. Just trying to play safe now with the 6-5, so probably to the 11 point. Easy enough. And the question for Falafel is, when is he going to cube? Yeah, this seems sensible, just making the anchor and... And he's probably not going to be able to cube for a long time.
Nobody could do it worse.
Okay, 5 out or 5 to make the 8? I don't know, I have no idea. Not hitting, I suppose. And then if Ray rolls a 6, is he going to make the 16 point? If he rolls an 8, I suppose he is. I don't know what he's thinking about. I mean, what is there? Yeah, you can't do. Yeah, you can't. The problem with this play is that you're putting a block too deep in your board, so that even if it does make sense to leave this man here as an obstacle for Falafel, but if it works out, you've got your board is too weak to take advantage of it. So that for me just rules out the play immediately, even if it does have some benefit. 3-2. Just normal, not hitting, just trying to bring. So Falafel should just be thinking about bringing his checkers around, not getting hit. Now he does play it. Falafel's not going to hit it anyway. He's going to make the 9. Oh, it's a 4-3, so he's just going to... Well, if you play 13-6, then you can then clear it with a 5-2. By taking one of the checkers off the mid, you allow yourself to clear it with an extra number for sure. So Ray's just not got enough timing here. Falafel's got a few 6s that he can play off the 8 point. Well, it's close. Ray's might be able to hold. So we know that he's not going to play 9-5 because that's not his style. He likes to play pure. So he's going to play 13-9. Oh, he wants to keep, but he wants to keep the mid. So he's flummoxed. Either way, it's not a big deal. So Falafel's not going to hit, I don't think. So if Ray plays 13-9, I don't think Falafel will hit with a 1-6 or a 1-4. Okay, well maybe he has to. So the alternative is just not very good. So you could play 8-2, 6-5, I suppose. I'm also I'm leaning in favour of not hitting. And then just if you've got a 1 to play 6-5. The problem with playing 2-1 now is that it gives Ray more opportunity to double 4. Seems the right idea, not to make the 1 point.
Mary says we're done with jackpots for tonight. Don't ask.
So even when Falafel hit, Ray's timing wasn't very good, so perhaps it was okay to hit. You play 8-5.
Paul Brass plays Steve Diano. Bob Brass plays John Vitor.
So even after all those fans and everything, Ray's timing has only just about held.
Night Cosmos.
Probably right to slot, seeing as there are more numbers than not that don't leave a shot for Falafel. That does leave a shot. Now, of course, cube action. Probably not too good, because even when you get past, you don't roll the 4-3 or the 3-3 or the double 4. Oh. Even when you don't get past, there's still jeopardy. And then the question is, could it ever possibly be a take? He just lets it go immediately. I mean, I guess not. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the 1-6. Four, 2, 6-3, 6-4. Okay, so it was very close. Actually making the outside point is okay, but as I pointed out, leaving your opponent good numbers on both sides of the board, which is never a good idea. 1-6 was forced. 4-1 was a good roll, making Falafel a favourite. 4-2, very nicely played by Ray, very quickly. 5-3, lucking out. And then, like, from here, like in a normal game, at a normal score, you're kind of not cubing now, but you're close. You're close. 6-5, getting even closer. 3-2, just made sense to stop your opponent from escaping and then making a second anchor. Hitting back. 4-5 was very close. I wasn't sure about that one. 6-3, not hitting, seemed right. And then Ray's play was fine with the 5-4, actually. Good play, just staying there. Maximum contact, knowing that a very good understanding, I suppose, of the implications of the cube, and your opponent doesn't want to cube and doesn't want to get into situations where into volatile situations, into situations where when they go badly for him, they go very badly. And so therefore, as blue, you can take more risk to generate shots and try and turn the game round. Here, this is cute play where you can just leave a shot and hoping to try and get a more solid position later. If you play 13-8, then you're less likely to make a safe position to come home from in future. So I didn't see that. And then double 3 is just natural. Got to come up to give yourself more timing. 4-3 is natural. 6-1 is natural. 8-2 is natural. I don't remember that. 4-2. Yeah, I'm not sure why Ray didn't just play 11 and 5. Fine. And then the 6-1. Yeah, 8-2, 6-5. Okay, so I got one right finally. Although I wasn't sure. I could see certainly, I didn't look at it for that long, but I could see certainly the benefits of when you do this. I was just simply looking forward, imagining what might happen to blue's position, knowing that, well, if blue wants to leave that checker there for the next roll, then you might have to hit it, but it's not death, or you might just get past, and then blue's timing is going to be questionable, and then he's going to possibly have to break, as opposed to a hitting play where blue's timing is also going to be questionable. I mean, he might get stuck, so it's not always that easy to analyse, but nevertheless he might get stuck there, and although he might get stuck, his timing is likely to be slightly better when you hit him, I think, so that's why I wouldn't have hit. Anyway, Ray got very lucky, he fanned. Team 5, what did Falafel play? What was the start? I don't know why he did that. It's amazing that it's such a big blunder. Interesting. Almost as big a blunder as making the ace point. Fine. And then fanning again, which is fantastic for Ray, and then Falafel just needs to bring it home, and it's already looking dicey. Double 2 is a bad roll, but when you get missed, it's a huge pass. It's a huge pass. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, whoever you are, and I'll catch you another time.